Hey everybody, welcome to Anne's first Screencastify. Wanting to share a little bit of information for you regarding the elementary science update and the information that you will be receiving from your grade level science facilitators on Monday, January 22nd. We're really excited to share the details with you on Monday at the PD session. This presentation just allows you an opportunity to do a quick preview of some of the highlights that potentially the facilitators won't have enough time to get into. So I will encourage you to go into the slide presentation that I will share with you, click on the various links, watch a few of the videos, and really engage for yourself in the science professional development before learning more about the particular lessons in which you will be engaged. So why the new science lessons? Well, as we know, the next generational science standards are pretty revolutionary, and they're going to introduce a brand new way of looking at science. I am going to click on just about 30 seconds of this video because I want you to get a taste of it. It's only about 2.5 minutes long, so I highly encourage you to watch it at your own convenience.
The world is moving so fast.
I know.
I hope that these kids are prepared for what's ahead of them.
We're learning from science standards written in 1996? I wasn't even born in 1996.
It's crazy to me to think that, all across the country, our kids are being taught from science standards that are 20 years old.
So my son being a freshman here, how can you assure me that the level of education he's going to receive will prepare him to succeed in not only colleges, but in careers after he gets out of school?
So 1996, pretty crazy when we think about how old our standards really are and were. The new science standards, as I mentioned, are pretty revolutionary. And so thinking about addressing one of those questions of why did we have to move away from Einstein, many of the Einstein units were not addressing the new way to look at the science standards. So obviously knowing that we want our students to be well prepared for the lives beyond our brick and mortar walls, we have to adapt our lessons and our units. A huge thank you to our elementary science committee members. Without Brenda, Amber, Maria, Sherry, Molly, Tom, Christina, Katerina, Kelly, Dave Newman, Brian Gannon, this work would not come to be where it is today. So huge thank you to the teachers that have worked really hard to write these lessons, learn about these lessons, work behind the scenes to present you the information that will help you be the best that you can at facilitating the learning with your students. As we mentioned in the past, the timeline really began last May, leading through August of this year, past year, where our teachers really began writing these lessons. And so they've been working extremely hard leading up to the point where we're presenting the lessons on Monday. Your task will be to determine a time between really February and May, and we're pinpointing that March 6th date as a key time for you to teach the unit. Once you get a sense of what will be involved in the unit, the various days and how long each lesson occurs on each day, really give you an opportunity with your professional judgment to take a look at your schedule and find the best way that you can to implement the lessons into your daily structure. Always a favorite of mine, Kid President. Again, I just want to show you a few minutes, but I highly encourage you to go in. This is a really great video that captures this concept of really thinking about science as an inventor. And when we get our students engaged in the concepts of science, really amazing what they can think about. So about 30 seconds, my favorite, Kid President.
I haven't always been a kid president. My first dream, I wanted to be a great inventor. I actually had a few pretty good ideas. It worked! My magnified glasses. It helps you see things that you need to see. It also gives you headaches. A really good invention? It makes the world more awesome. Because the world is full of problems. There's also lots of problem solvers. Kids like Peyton. He's 11 years old and he invented retractable training.
You'll have an opportunity with your students to be awesome problem solvers. So what does this all mean for us? Taking a look at the various lessons. Again, the lessons are going to be based around a phenomena that the facilitators will be sharing with you. This document will ultimately have all of the links to the information for the lessons. We're going to be addressing some questions that have come up regarding multi-age as well, so stay tuned for that information. As I alluded to earlier, we're really hoping that you can embed this sometime beginning March 5th, March 6th-ish. That is when we had moved to the schedule a little bit from the writing to embed that science unit. But again, really encouraging you to use your professional judgment to take a look, ask questions of our facilitators. They are going to really be the experts of helping you determine how to put this lesson into your structure this year. We have a wealth of time, really, in meeting with the coaches, the literacy coaches. We're confident that in the next year, we're going to be able to provide a structure and a schedule that offers science for more than one unit next year. Reading the standards, because they are new, takes a really three-dimensional type look at understanding. I'm not going to play this video, but I do encourage you to watch it. It helps reveal why we are writing the units around phenomenon, what the structure of the science and engineering practices look like, what the disciplinary core ideas, and what the cross-cutting concepts look like. The cross-cutting concepts, or the triple C's, which will be referred to many times, really shows you why and how we can embed science with social studies, mathematics, English language arts, etc. News to us a few weeks ago is that the forward exam will look different, and the forward exam will include pilot assessment questions that are NGSS aligned, which means this year we get to practice with a few of those questions, but starting next year on our forward exams, on our state assessments, it will include NGSS aligned questions, which means this is really a great opportunity for us to practice with our lessons, poising us in a good position to make sure that our students are ready. More information on the links here, so I do encourage you to take a look at the various types of assessments that are out there. And then looking ahead, as I mentioned in the past, we've begun this journey last May. As you see, January 22nd, teaching the units to you all with your support. Students will have an opportunity to engage in next generational science. And then behind the scenes, our committee will continue to look at units, look at potential materials, resources, etc. Spend some more time refining additional units, prep. Goal would be that we have units aligned by the end of next year. Kevin Anderson really encourages questions from the field. I have been working specifically with Kevin Anderson across the state in helping districts, schools, and science leaders formulate best ways to approach science through science implementation. And he's a real down-to-earth guy, and so as questions do come up, highly encourage you to send him questions as well. Really looking forward to you posing the questions to the facilitators on Monday. There will be an exit survey for you to fill out to pose your questions, but by all means, ask questions along the way. Your question is probably a question that somebody else on the team has, so please forward those questions along. Latest and greatest and all the standards are on this slide, so I highly encourage you as well to get curious, poke around, and view some of the slides. Next steps, obviously the conversation on January 22nd, and as I get to the end of the presentation, I noticed there's a typo. So we'll change that. Do take a look at the new standards. Think about your approach to the unit, how you specifically want to provide that instruction. Each teacher is really unique, and that's where the art and science of teaching comes in. And then ask questions as necessary. Have fun, everybody. Really looking forward to this opportunity, and yeah, thanks for all you do.